how do you feel about dating apps? Like, what is your true like? What do you think about it? Do you think they're beneficial? Do you think they're a waste of time? I have my own separate experience, but my opinion right now, terrible idea. Well, I mean, a good idea, but it's not working out how it's supposed to. I always thought that dating apps were people for like people like me that don't get out a lot. I never to this day walked up to a woman I didn't know and approached and asked for her number and her name. I've never done it. I feel like it was too much of a risk, and it's more of a risk now, but we'll get into that later. But I have never walked up to a woman and just, I don't know you. I don't know your personality. I don't know if you're in a rush. I don't know if you speak English. It's too much to think about. That's why I never did it, and I will never do it because I just can't do it. I know there's people that do it with no problem, and they do it to multiple women and stuff like that. But I feel like me personally, if I really was good at that, like approaching cold approach or whatever it is, approaching people I didn't know, I probably would do it too much to the point where, um, yeah, I'll be known around the city because some things you kind of don't want to be really good at because once you get there, it's no coming back. And I know for a fact I would be that person because I'm good at talking. Like that's why most of the women I've dated, coworkers or a friend of a friend, because I was able to sit back and kind of get to the feel of the person and then approach them after a while. But it's like the cold approach, I can't do it. Now, as far as dating apps, I really feel like it is a great idea if it was used properly. The problem is you get on there, you're like putting in all your information. Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you, or how tall are you? What school you went to? What are your hobbies? And I feel like it was made for people to be like, okay, I'm gonna swipe right, I'm gonna approve or match with multiple people that all are what I like, right? And then you were supposed to like eliminate people before you even go on the first date. Now you kind of know and get a gist of the person. This is where it goes wrong. And this is where I know most people are going to agree with me on this. There's levels of conversation. There's small talk, right? But what's lower than small talk is having small talk with somebody and you don't even know their personality at all. So you're either in their DM saying outrageous things just to get your attention. You can get lucky, and some people, that y'all might be on the same page as that. But most likely, whether it's man or woman, if they find you attractive, the conversation won't be as boring, right? So now it's strictly attractiveness and maybe depending on your hobbies and stuff like that. But for the most part, if they find you extremely attractive and you text them what you're doing, they're going to be more interested in that type of vibe or whatever. But if they don't find you as attractive, if you're in the list of people that are in their DM and you're the least attractive, you're gonna have to put in more work and take more risk as far as the conversation. But if you don't know their personality, it's gonna be a dry conversation because you don't know if they're gonna think certain stuff is funny. You don't know what their sense of humor is. Maybe they're like more of a dark sense of humor. Maybe their conversations are dry. You don't know anything about this person. So it's small talk. It's lower than small talk. It's small talk without personality. And I can't do that because I have a certain personality that I feel like don't match with certain people because I'm brutally honest. I'll tell you exactly what it is. I may be chatting with a woman and she might be giving me hints into like, but I don't get the hints because I'm more direct. I'm more open. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. But we'll get more into detail about that. But my thing right now for men, I feel like it's bad for both parties, men and women. I feel like women get more of a benefit as far as, they're able to get like an ego boost being on there because, men, we don't really have high expectations as far as women. We kind of just want peace and loyalty and attractiveness. So if you're just attractive on there and, we don't care about the bio and stuff like that. If you're attractive, men are going to try to match with you. And a lot of men be trying, like, see an attractive woman, and they'll be like, "Man, I'll, try to match with her," and just taking a risk. So 9 times out of 10, if you're an attractive woman, you're getting men that you most likely like. It's just easier to try to match with somebody on there because it's no risk. It's like, oh, she look good. I'm just gonna swipe right. You don't. A lot of men be like, she probably ain't gonna match with me anyways. So long story short, my point is, it's good for women because it's like an ego boost because you're seeing in real time how many men find you attractive and would be willing to, probably the sexual stuff. That's the obvious thing, but they just find you attractive. For men, such as myself, that is not above 6 feet, you already lost because now these dating apps are getting so sophisticated that they'll ask a woman right off the bat, what do you not want to deal with? Like, is there a certain height that you don't want to deal with? So I'm already cut off already. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The height thing is probably the most thing because women, for any of us on the dating app, we're saying exactly what we want. Now, in the real world, when you're dealing with people, coworkers or people that you see on the street, you'll probably be like, okay, I don't need all that. But if somebody's asking you directly, what do you want? What would you prefer? You're gonna say and specify, whether it's a man or a woman, you're gonna specify and be like, this is what I want, and you're low key gonna build somebody like the perfect person for you. And yeah, none of us are perfect. And most men, the average height, I say this all the time, is like 5'9". Okay, most of us are not 6 feet. So if you're a man on a dating app, you're probably not gonna get that many matches because women are gonna be like, "Oh, he's short." Now, if they seen you in person and they seen your personality, now they get the full, oh, okay, he know how to dress. I like his style, I like his carry himself. She don't get any of that on the app. All she sees is, oh, he's short. Okay, well, I'm sure there's 100 different options that I can look past. So I'm just gonna keep scrolling, whatever. But like I said, if you're not at an event, she gets a more full view of you, so you have a better chance. Had different experiences. Yes, I have met women on dating apps, and I had pretty good experiences. There wasn't bad. Do I still talk to these women? Yeah, like on social media, like just small talk, like I said earlier. But I kind of know them a little bit more. I had a couple of experiences, and the only reason I went on these apps is because I don't go a lot of places. All I do is go to work and go home. And I thought the app was convenient because it's like, oh, okay, I get to see who's in the area that's single. I get to, instead of me trying to go out in the wild and hopefully I see somebody, it was easier for me. It was like, bam, um, she matched with me. And, if I seen her out, I probably wouldn't say nothing to her. I'll probably just, the most I do is speak or hold the door if there was an opportunity, but I will never ask her questions and that I can ask her. They're for dating apps. So they're good to a certain extent for people like me that are introvert and not really going out to the club or going out anywhere. I just be chilling. And it was just like, oh, okay, now my phone won't be as dry because now I know the single people in the area. I think I've been on BLK, Tinder. What's the other stuff? It's another one. I know Bumble is for men, so women can reach out to men. I've been on that too. I think the best I had was Tinder, and it's cool. Like it's a good experience. I wouldn't take anybody serious on dating apps. Like I wouldn't be looking for a wife on there. It would be more like I want to text somebody here and there, or I wouldn't mind going on a date. But here's the problem though. I don't know about you, you could tell me, but I've seen too many horror stories when it comes to dating apps. Like people meeting up for the first time and it's their last time meeting up because they took your life. Like that alone kind of ruined it for like decent men because now, yeah, she's probably on there most likely for an ego boost. Yeah, she's probably on there so she can chat with dudes that she find attractive. But it's like it kind of ends there. Like the meeting up part, you got to be a bold person. You got to be one of those people that's like, oh, it won't happen to me. You got to be one of those people because the risk factor of you meeting up with a stranger, I don't care if y'all was DMing each other for weeks or months, you still don't know this person. Have you seen what was that? What was it called? What is it called? Catfish. There was literally a show like that where people get catfish. So it's like you don't really know these people. And I'm kind of glad that the dating apps don't really have FaceTime or whatever. All you can do, I don't even know if you can call. I'm not on a dating app anymore, but I just know that you don't really know this person that you're talking to, whether it's weeks or months. And they can, yeah, they definitely Yeah, yeah, they're just hookups now. It's I think Christian Mingle was like the closest thing to like I heard good stories about that where people get into relationships after that, but for the most part, it's just hookups. And I always say it's dangerous because even with that, like sexual transmitted diseases, you know what I'm saying? People getting set up when y'all meet up. So it's like, I still can't. I know one night stands used to be popular back then, but it's like, it's too much of a risk. It's a high risk, low reward. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always dated women that either were coworkers or friends of friends because I just don't know people and you can't really trust people. I know it's probably not a high chance that you get set up. You know what I'm saying? Every time I make jokes about it, when I did meet up with women that I even know, I always be like, I feel, or just on edge because she might set me up. But it's like, it's still, everything is a possibility. Nobody's safe for real. Nobody's safe. And you never know how people truly feel. So at the end of the day, it always sucks for the people that do be on dating apps to find love and to actually meet people. But you got to blame the people that used it for bad. And I and another reason I don't really like dating apps, I don't know if anybody be on TikTok a lot, but there's literally people that are on TikTok that are on these dating apps and they'll go on live and like just scroll through and look at all the men and kind of judge the man and be like, how do you feel about him? So it's like when you're on dating apps, your friends and family might see you on there, your coworkers might see you on there, and you're telling all your business in these bios. So it's like high risk, low reward. And I really think it was supposed to be for good. Those dating apps were supposed to be for good, just like social media to a certain extent was supposed to be for good. And it was used and abused. Do I think people can find love on there? I feel like 1%. I feel like it got to be perfect time and you match with somebody and it all work out. But when it comes to the dating apps and stuff like that, it's weird because you don't really know who see your profile because there's different things that you could pay for where they put your profile in front of everybody. So it's like with any social media site, when it's like a paywall to like go further, it's like, how do you even know if these people are real? Especially with AI now, people can make a fake profile. You can go to Chat GPT and be like, give them a picture online and then be like, hey, make 4 pictures so I can put this on a profile. And it will do it. And it will look realistic, just like these AI videos be realistic. So it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. And I'm saying all this, like I said, I have met up with people on dating apps. I definitely had. And now that I look back, I'm like ended up going to their house. I never even went on a date from a dating app. I just would meet up with them. And I think one of the girls, she came up to my job and I interacted with her, which was stupid. Like, why would I do that? Why would I tell her that was dumb? That was dumb of me. That was definitely a risk. And I know with love, you're supposed to take a risk, but when your life is in danger, that's the it. It always got to me when it came to dating apps. It's like this is the funny thing. I know how easy it is for most women to even get attention, interactions, and all that stuff. So when I went on a dating app and I would see an attractive woman, I'd be like, why are you not just going somewhere to get attention? Why are you on here? And it's just like that's why I think most men, when they see a super attractive woman on a dating app, will be like, why are you on here? Because you look good, you take good pictures, you seem like a decent person. Why are you on a dating app? Why are you on here? What are you doing here? This is for people that are like, don't go out much. And when they do go out, they're not seen. And funny enough, I think that's why they created Bumble for men. So I guess men can get the opportunity for once to like chill back and just kind of and I tried that, like I said, I tried that. I didn't get anything back. And it might because I'm so honest on the dating app. I don't want to catfish anybody. So I'm gonna say my height. I'm gonna say everything about me so you can decide because I'd rather be super honest on there. So you won't be like, if we ever did meet in person, you won't be like, you're a liar. Why did you lie to me? Why didn't you just say this? And it's funny, it's just like an application. You almost gotta lie just to get past get through the door. Because just like on any other thing, if you think you have a million options and these dating apps, it's endless. It's single people in your area, but it's a lot because it extends to 200 miles away. So it's like it's endless. And it's so quick to just keep swiping. So it's like you're almost like playing the lottery. You're trying to get your best fit. You'll give people a chance, like if they got a whole bunch of stuff on their profile, you'll read all of it. But it's like you're always thinking, okay, it's something better. It's something better. And I think there was a time where I was getting a lot of matches, but call it what you want. I wasn't interested in the matches. It almost seemed like, I don't know, it was like the opposite of what I'm attracted to, which beggars can't be choosers. If you're on the dating app, I think you should give most people a try because if you get to the point where you're on a dating app, that says a lot about your social life. So, how are you going to not have a dating circle or like a group of people that you're dating, but you're still going to be picky? And I think it's getting worse. I think if it was used correctly, dating apps were used correctly. Yes, I totally agree. The top 10% of men are usually selected on dating apps, but I don't know what makes them top 10%. I guess it definitely is going to be look wise. It's definitely going to be their height. But yeah, you say you haven't looked at it yourself. Okay, I definitely think that's true. I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you think about that? Do you think it's true? Do you think just in general that most women only like or are attracted to a small group of men? I think that's 100% true because you always hear like women generalize men and be like men ain't this, men ain't that, but it's like most men are invisible. Most men, it's women that have been working with men there, for years and don't find them attractive, would never date them. And there's men that, women come across men in the grocery store, cashiers, men that, you know, you need help on your house. So you ask for help or whatever, you hire help. And women are not attracted. I feel like women only see, and it's gonna sound weird, but I feel like women only see men that they're attracted to. I think it's probably true because on dating apps, when there is a huge selection of people on the app, women tend to be more selective. Exactly. The more options that are available, the more picky and petty people will be. Now, I agree. I wouldn't call it petty though. Picky, I agree, but I feel like if it's what you like, it's what you like. Now, if you're being petty as far as how deep you're getting into it, then yeah, I agree on that. Like, you don't want to be like, I don't understand when people be like on these pop the balloon, it'll be like, I don't like how you're dressing. I don't like your hair. Things that people can change. Now, to me, that's petty. Now, you can, like, I'm not saying you build the person that you're going to get in a relationship with. They're not going to transform to what you like. But it's like, we're already limited to good people. So you're going to find a decent person and be like, yeah, he cool, but I don't like how he dress. I don't like his hair. Like, that's ridiculous to me because they think they will find the better person right around the corner. Exactly. That's why I think dating apps is like the lottery. Like you keep scrolling because you think, it's gonna be something better. And it's like I wouldn't say it's a dopamine hit, but it is like I would say it would be kind of exciting. Like you're like, oh well, he cool, but what about next? What about next? And then months later, you're still single and nobody wants to be with you. But my question to you is like, because I was always confused why super attractive women be on like dating apps when they get attention all over the place. Do you feel like what is the reason why you think super duper matter of fact, why do you think super attractive people get on dating apps, period? It don't even matter. We're not even gonna select the gender. Why do you think that? I always think that like super attractive people or conventional attractive people, I know attractive people is subjective, but people that are super attracted to be on dating apps for two reasons. I feel like it's ego. You're gonna like try to build your confidence, ego, or it's like super attractive people get a lot of options, but they want to feel like they're more in control of who they actually deal with, if that makes sense. because they're out in the world. Yeah, everybody looking, everybody trying to talk to them, but you don't want to. You want to be selective. So when it comes to dating apps, you kind of like are able to kind of observe and be like, oh, he likes to do this. He seemed cool, and then you take it to the next step and DM them. That's what I always thought. Anytime I seen like like a woman that has like literally modeling pictures on dating apps, I'll be like, yeah, this is fake, or you're just doing this for ego, or you're trying to sell something. Okay, validation, fun time, or just hookups. Yeah, and I don't disagree with the hookup thing, but it's like, is it worth it? Like, I really feel like if your motive is to just hook up with people, I feel like it's way easier to just like, and I think it's easier and safer to do it with people like that you at least seen in person already. Because it's like you can't be that, you know, ready to get it done to the point where you're on a dating app with like, and it's even worse with AI. I'm gonna say AI, I feel like it's even worse with AI because it can transform a person. People we talk about filters all the time. People using filters to look better, but it's like AI can literally make you look like a totally different person. So for weeks or a couple of days, if you're just trying to hook up with somebody, you don't even know who you're talking to anymore. You really don't. And I got off of dating apps way back. Like it always was like the same thing, like the same cycle. I'm single for a long time, and I'll be like, I don't really go anywhere, but I do want to meet people. And you can't really do it on like a Facebook and Instagram. You can't do that because I know Facebook has oh well get yeah, I think they have an actual app for those type of men. Um specifically for that. And I feel like that app gotta be jumping because dang, I can't even speak for them. But I would just think, they're more open and I mean Jeffrey Dahmer, like he was having a field day with that type of stuff. Yeah, he would be living it up in this era because those type of men, they be more free. They'll be like, oh, he look good. And it's a man. So I feel like men are more willing to like go on those type of adventures because they're a man. So they're gonna feel like they can hold their own. Funny enough, with me, I don't feel safe because when it comes to women, I be more vulnerable with them. I'm not ready to protect myself when I'm around a woman. So I feel like they would take advantage of most men at a meetup, like if a woman was setting a man up, because when I'm around a woman, I don't be in like manly, ready for anything. So like I said, I can't speak for those men, but I feel like that app is gonna be jumping forever, forever and forever because that matter of fact, yeah, that's probably if any of those apps are gonna last, that is gonna be one of the apps. Um, yeah, that's there. You had to say something to just throw me off because I was not expecting that at all. And you said you've never been on a dating app ever. Like I that's weird to me. Just like when somebody said they never got a tattoo. Like I feel like it's certain things that it's gonna be a phase where you're like, I want a tattoo, or it's gonna be a phase where you're like, I don't really go out much. I'm not doing anything. It's so easy to make a profile on a dating app. That's nothing. That takes 2 seconds to just make a profile. Because that's why I did it. I'm like, it's so simple. And they got it where you can deactivate your stuff if you end up meeting somebody. Like a click of a button, you can deactivate the profile, and then a click of a button, you can get back on. And I forgot I did do Facebook dating too, because I felt like that was like the safest one. And I could be 100% wrong. I guess I just manipulated my mind. I was like, yeah, these other apps are like standalone apps. Why not do like an attachment to a social media app? And I did it. And once again, I did meet up with a woman. We didn't go on a date, but we did. I think I did meet it at her house, but nothing happened. It was just like, what am I? Now that I think about it, I was tripping. I was definitely tripping because I was just. I don't know. I don't even think we talked on the phone first before I met up. Like I'm good at conversation, so I might have just got lucky with the DMs and just chatting it up. And funny enough, I do think once the conversation, like the DMs were cool, it ended up being a phone call after that. And then once I heard her voice and kind of talked to her and got her personality, yeah, I was still tripping on. I don't think you should ever, if you're gonna meet somebody coming off a dating app, I definitely 100% think you should meet in public. Me, I feel like a coffee shop is perfect. Hell, I think the police station is perfect. Like if you're, I would rather that. Like see them, make sure nobody's with them, because I ain't, I don't got nothing they could take from me but my life. But it's not worth it. And that's why when you stated hookup, I'm like, that's not even worth it. Maybe I could try something like what? Yeah, what do you mean by that? Try something like what? Because the last thing you said was about the hookup. So I need you to specify. What do you mean I can try? And I apologize. I always got to apologize because it's a delay. So I could be talking about something and then you can kind of interject and send a text. And then when I look over, I don't even remember like exactly what I said for you to. Oh, okay. Are you talking about like hooking up? Oh, YouTube probably deleted your comment. Yeah, because I don't. I mean, you might. I don't even know what comments they'll delete. I'm sure you didn't say anything super crazy, but yeah, they probably deleted your comment. So if you can reword it in a different way or like hint at it or something, because I don't have no. I think YouTube just has certain words that if it's in a sentence, they'll just delete the whole thing. Because people be um, spam and stuff. People be trolling, so it's like they're trying to get rid of all that. I guess I'm assuming. But yeah, I really want to know what you're talking about because I know you're not talking about what I think you're talking about, and hopefully you're not talking about that. But I'll just wait and just see what you say. But yeah, I really wish dating apps were more successful. And if it was successful, oh, okay. There are a few friend connection meetup apps like Meetup and Nudge. I would probably use those because they schedule group outings where you can meet new people. Yes, I did see that before. That's a good point. It's just, and I don't see nothing wrong with those type of apps, but it's like still like when I hang out with people, if I am gonna go out, oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. But yeah, if I am gonna go out and meet up with people, like I want it to be people I know. You know what I mean? Like I just can't hang out with random people that want to have fun. Like even if they had the best energy in the world, like when I hear friend and those type of things, like I don't people are so weird, you know what I'm saying? And me specifically, I could be having a good time, but if you say the wrong thing or if you move the wrong way, my whole night is ruined because now I'm looking at you sideways. So that is cool that they have those type of apps, especially if it's like a way where you can like add a friend and then add another friend and then y'all get in a group chat on the app and y'all can talk about what y'all like. That's fire. That's a great way of meeting people. It's just yeah. I feel like me personally, I don't need a friend that bad. Now, if I was in like a new town or something and I never got out, I feel like that would be a perfect app for that. But it's like I've been here for years, and it's like this city is so small, so I'm came across 80% of people. Oh, I can understand that. You want to be around people whose intentions, dating relationships, totally understand. Yeah, like, and it always goes back to I think you talked about it in the last thing about men and women can't be friends. Like, I don't want to be in that type of environment. Like, I kind of want to like separate it because I feel like this is the thing. If you're on a friends date, if like a friends app to meet people, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to assume that you're single. I just have to assume because if you're in a relationship, that would be weird for you to be on one of those apps to meet newer people when you kind of have a person and they probably got friends, yada, yada, yada. So most likely I would, hang out with women on that friends app because, you know, I'll I can't say that. I just don't. And it's just weird to me because I was about to say hang out with women for friends, but my intentions will always be more, but we're starting off as friends, if that makes sense. But I'm not getting on that like a friends app for men, like to go hang out with men. I don't know. It just sounded weird in my head. So that's why I was like, women. But then again, I can't be friends with women either. But I would want to start off as friends and see where it goes. So I feel like that would be like a cool, like a stepping stone instead of like a Tinder where it's like, we're going to be in a relationship soon. Let's see where it goes versus this is a friends app. Let's meet up and be friends, have a connection. And then if it goes further than that, then that would be a good thing. So yeah, to me, that would be going against everything I believe in on those friend apps. And like I said, now if it was like a new city or a new town, if I, just switch jobs or whatever, if I went out of town for any reason and I was gonna be there for a long time and I was like, new town, new me, I kind of want to try something different to actually have a friend group, I would do that. And then I'll have like it'll be co-ed. Like I'll see a group that has men and women in there that are cool and I'll go in there. But I just feel like it will always end at a woman in the group finding me interesting. Cause if we're cool enough to be friends and you don't know me, you don't know anything about me, but you feel like I'm cool and we got a connection, it's always gonna be in the back of your mind, especially as an older adult. You're gonna be like, that would be cool to like see what happens after the connection because connection is rare. I always say that connection is super rare. So it would not make any sense to me to finally have a connection with a woman that is rare, that's super rare to have a connection with a woman and be like, we're friends though. Don't forget, I'm just gonna be your friend. That don't make any sense to me. And it never did. And just as a man, I just feel like in the back of every man's mind is more than friends. And it ain't even gotta be a sexual thing, but he like you. Because and I'm not even this ain't even a video about men and women being friends, but I was just going off of what you said about the friend connection thing. And I'm not meeting up with no men friends on no connection thing. It'll probably be women, but like also for sure, if I'm gonna get back on the dating app, but if I'm cool with a woman, or if since my time is limited, I'm getting older. So it's like, why be friends with a woman that only wants to see me as friends, spend time and energy, money, all that stuff when I could be spending it with a woman that actually wants to take it further? Like to me, that's like driving fast in the wrong direction or driving down a dead end. Like it to me, it's no point. And I will always be on that hill. I will die on that hill. I don't understand it, but I will be cordial with women, of course. Like I wouldn't be rude to them. I'll have conversations. It's just that friend thing where we go out and all that stuff and be texting all day. I never understood that. And I don't want to keep talking about men and women being friends, but yeah, you made a good point about the meeting thing. But I'm yep. Hopefully you agree. Has that I know this ain't about men and women being friends, but have you ever been in that situation where you because I feel like at some point we all thought it was possible for men and women to be friends. So have you ever been in that situation where you was cool with the opposite sex and you thought it was a friendship, but it ended up not being, whether you caught feelings or he did? That's just a side question because I want to know. Like I always, if I come across a woman, I always want to ask that because women are most likely thinking it's possible, and I don't think it's possible. But just like I don't think it's possible to find your true love on dating apps. I don't think it's possible. I know it's always exceptions to the rule. I understand it, but I really, really think it's slim. It's very slim to the point where it's not even worth it. And I've matched with attractive women. I definitely matched with attractive women, and I was shocked. I was like, "Why are you on here?" And sure, I've been in that situation before. Yeah. So okay, so that's why you're strongly agree because I think anybody that either still currently have the opposite sex friend or they never dealt with it, of course they're going to be like, yeah, it's possible. Why wouldn't it be possible? But when you go through that and go through that situation, whether it ends bad or just a surprise, it's not a good thing. But I definitely match with attractive women on there, and I always just I second guessed it. I was like, you're and it I don't want to be negative about it because of course I want to match with somebody I'm attracted to. But it's like when you're posting model pictures and your profile and bio just seems so perfect, you ain't got no kids, you're like 27, no kids, in college, you're a nurse. I'm like, you are like there. Like you're good. So what are you doing on here? Like I feel like it would be easier for you to. I'm sure there's dudes that you work with that would want to be with you. I'm sure it's friends of friends that try to talk to you. So I always think I don't even think it has to be an attractive person. I think a lot of people be like going on there for an ego boost. I really think, just like on any other social media app. I think it's an ego boost. Dang, I think it's choppy. Why is it so choppy? Okay, it got better. Dang, I don't even know how many times it did that. Dang, that sucks. I don't even know how to prevent that. I'm still a rookie on this going live thing, so sooner or later I understand it. Maybe cut some stuff off around the house so it'd be less energy used. But yeah, dating apps are it's a journey. I feel like you're taking a chance. I feel like if you're in that life where you just small town or you don't get out much, and you're good at taking pictures and you're good at making profiles and bios, I feel like it's good for you. But I just had so many bad experiences with it where it's like I think it's useless for the most part. I think it is a waste of time and energy. Now, if you're one of and it's some benefits and it's some petty benefits because I know a lot of people they be saying their phones dry, so it would be cool to like just know about the single people in your area and kind of get to sit back and not be a creep, but kind of like figure out little stuff about them, because you're gonna be a creep if you actually like get big information about people. But it allows you to have like a chance to like some look at somebody and see what they got going on or where they, how old they are, if they have any kids. They even ask now if you smoke or drink and you can literally put sometimes, very often, like you it's so many questions they ask. And then on the flip side, after you're done with your profile, you can put your deal breakers, for instance, the height thing, or if the person smokes or drinks. And it's like it's literally a great like it's a great whoever invented dating apps, that was a good idea. It was a great idea. But it's like as the world's going, and that's another reason why it's good because men are not approaching women at all nowadays. Now, I know the internet is not 100% real, but I'm only speaking for me because I've never done it. I always felt like it was a small percentage of men that was even willing to do that. Like it's a certain level of confidence to just walk up to somebody and talk to them. I'm like, that was too much of a risk for me, so I never did it. So it's perfect for that too, but still, like, I another reason why I never approached women, it always had to be mutual, is because I hated to hear women be like, and this is petty. I know it's petty, but I hated to hear women be like, guess who tried to talk to me? Guess who just wanted to take me out on a date? I used to hate that. So I was like, I never wanted to be that dude that was in the room or of trying to talk to them, let alone everybody. Like I never wanted to be there. So I was like, if I did interact with women, I wanted to be mutual. I wanted to be a grown woman that's not gonna tell people I try to talk to her, which, I failed at that too. I'm sure 100% I failed at that. I'm sure my name was brought different places and, rumors and guess who tried to talk to me. And that's why I don't really DM like on social media because screenshots and people will make you look crazy. And I fell victim to that, you know. I fell victim to sending somebody a DM and, leave you on red. Like, and to me, I can't do that too many times. Well, and I know there's men out there that will have a full conversation with themselves, but it's like, I don't never understand that. I don't understand that. Like, and I'm sure that happens a lot on dating apps too, where it's like people are literally talking to themselves. And it's like, you can't really be mad at the person that ain't responding because you leave three messages you don't reply to three messages. It's kind of and they're still texting back. It's like, yeah, this person's weird. I don't want to be part of this person's life. And on the flip side, I can see their point of view because it's so easy to like send text messages. So it's like it's nothing difficult to just be like, what you doing? Good morning. What you doing? Like that's nothing. That takes 2 seconds. I remember what came before dating apps. Before that was dating e eHarmony and Match. Yep. Those were back in the days like early 2000s. Do you think people were more successful with dating back then? 100%. 100%. Now, like I said, there definitely was horror stories. There definitely was bad things that happened. But I remember it was eHarmony commercials everywhere, like every channel, and then Match too. It's like you don't see those. Well, I mean, I don't really see commercials at all. Anyway, I see ads, but they had. I heard a lot of good stories with eHarmony because I feel like it was more successful back then because it was made as finding a significant other, like finding a partner. Now it's finding a sexual partner. That's what it was made. It was just, I think the whole thing, like even the setup on the web, it's like literally a website where you put your stuff, you know, um, I think I remember Black Planet too. But the whole thing, I feel like it was a website, so people were more invested into it. Like you literally get on your computer because computers were slower back then. We all know that. So it's like you literally had to take time out of your day, get on there, see who messaged you, you message people, all that. Now, since it's so accessible to just click on an app, swipe, 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 I feel like as fast as that is as fast, like easy come, easy go. You meet somebody quick, y'all gonna be, quick in the meeting, whether it's sexual or one date, and it's over with. So I feel like, yes, back then it was more successful because it was more time put into it, building the website and actually trying to like meet somebody for real, like really meet, really get together. What you think though? Do you feel like it was more dating was more successful back then? Because it might be the same. It might be the same thing. I feel like it was more successful back then, 100%. And I feel like it would never go back to that because now once something has a stigma, even if everybody on even if everybody on like a Bumble really wanted relationships, every single user on there wanted a relationship, it still has a dating app still have a bad stigma. So everybody's gonna think it's a hookup thing. Now it's gonna be a good stigma for the people that want that, but it's gonna be bad for the people that are actually looking for love. And now the dating apps are turning to society as a whole. People are willing to just sexual is always it's not deep. I feel like that type of connection is easy to come by. So people are more like, let me find somebody, get my issue off, and get back to my normal life instead of investing time and energy into a person because everybody thinks the relationship is gonna fail. So they're like, what's the point? My life is decent now, so why even deal with anybody else? And I'm not mad at that. I agree with that. Yes, because on those websites you had to pay an expensive membership. And eHarmony and Match marketed themselves in a way that was more for serious-minded people. Plus, it was more boomers and Gen X on it. You made a great point. Now I never was on there, so I didn't know that it was a membership. Um, I think I talked about it before. Those dating apps do have like a pay thing where you can get your stuff pushed forward. But you made a good point. It was literally, and that's why marketing is a real thing because, and I don't think the dating apps were marketed for hookup culture. Maybe they was, I don't know. But the whole point, you make a good point. Like everything was like set up for like this is serious. And I feel like when people invest time and money into something, they not about to play about that. These dating apps, you don't have to pay. You pay because you want to have a better chance and have a better chance of more people seeing your profile. But even then, we don't even know if it's true. But these older apps, like, man, you lit. I want. What was? Do you have any idea what like the membership pay? Like, was it how much it cost? Because I don't even know if eHarmony and Match are still around. Like, I think I heard them. I haven't heard eHarmony in a while, but I definitely heard Match. I definitely heard that. Not recently, but the most recent. And you said boomers and Gen X were on there. And funny enough, that was like the beginning of the internet. So it was like right to me, it felt like right at the beginning. It was, I remember Tinder just being all about infatuation, lust, romance. That's what it was about? Now, you can't be mad that I remember eHarmony were like 80 dollars and like a monthly membership too. Of course, until you find your significant other, but 80 bucks is crazy. Because I'm like, these other Netflix and Hulu, them are super cheap. 80s a month eHarmony, I think. $80? That's a lot of money. You're definitely looking for love, spending that much money. You definitely are looking for love. That's crazy. I did not know Tinder was like pushed as a hookup thing. Because when I went on there, I don't think I ever like my intentions were that. Just as a man, like that loves women, it's just, and then you're able to like kind of like, because you don't want to look like a creep as a man. Like you want to be able to check women out, and not in a creepy way, but you actually want to like look at them and be like, oh, okay, I like, and you can't really do that in public without looking like a creep. You can't really like admire people in public. You're gonna look like a creep, and I get it. You definitely do. You're gonna look like that. So that's why I originally went on there because I'm like, I would just want to see. Like, it's fun to be able to just, okay, you're single. Instead of in public, you don't know. You don't know if people are single, they're married. You know, they're married, but they forgot their ring at home. Like, you don't know. You don't know if they just got out of a relationship. I always assume people that was on the dating app, since it's so easy to deactivate it, when you're on there, like you're currently looking for people, or you're just letting the city know that you're single. And that was the only way of me knowing because I'm not approaching a woman and just being like, hey, what's your name? No, I'm not doing that. Because what's gonna happen is she's gonna give me her name. I'm gonna get her Instagram, and she's not gonna follow me back. What is the point of that? That's ridiculous. I remember from like 10 years ago, Tinder was advertised as a lustful romantic dating app, but the but that was years ago. Well, if I'm telling you, you do that one time, people will never forget that. You can't those type of things. You can't market it as one thing and then try to switch it up because I feel like 80% of the people that's on there probably was on there ever since it started, just like Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Most of the people that are on there, most of them, because I know people do delete and then come back or whatever, but I feel like most people, they'll create a profile and just leave it because the benefit of being on something since it started, you're going to have way more followers. You know, what you don't have to start anything from scratch. You know, you're probably going to get way more engagement because you've been on there for so long. So I feel like a lot of people that have been on Tinder and them dating apps been on there since the beginning. It's just the whole concept of being on there just to hook up. And I know it sounds crazy coming from a man, but I'm like, that never was my thought. Like, and it may sound weird, but it's just like, look at pretty women that are single. I can DM them if we match. Like, I was like, it's a good concept. Because I'm telling you, now it's worse for me because I'm not on no dating apps and I'm not approaching no women in public. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because it's like you never know if she actually finds you attractive. Even if she stare you down, to me, I'm gonna be like, she probably looking at something else. Until she walk up to me and be like, hey, how you doing? And start a conversation or anything. And I know that's not gonna happen because nobody likes rejection. And I feel like women don't like it even more because they're not used to it. Like people admire them all day, noticeably. Women are good at looking at somebody and you can't even tell if a woman finds you attractive. She'll literally like only look at you when you look down at your phone, and then when you look up, she look in other places. It's just you never know when a woman is attracted to you. And I always see TikToks of women making fun of like how they deal with men that they find attractive or they don't find attractive. They're mean to the men that they find attractive and super nice to the men that they don't find attractive. So I'm like, you never know. Because what if you meet a woman that is just straight up and she's just like, oh, she's super nice and open. I'm gonna think that TikTok video, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, she don't find me attractive. So I'm not gonna take it any further. And then when a woman is mean to you in public, I'm just gonna think she's mean. I'm not gonna be like, oh, she's just mean because she find me. No, it's too confusing. I'm on social media all day, just like everybody else. And not even on my algorithm, I'll just come across videos where women be like, they don't want to be approached in public. Cool with me because I don't want to do it anyways. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I've seen personally too many videos and they made good points because I'm always like, if you want to get approached, what is the perfect time? But to me, there is no perfect time. If you see a woman in the grocery store, she's probably on her way to work or on her way home. At the gym, she's there to work out, most likely, or record some content. Going to the gas station, that's probably the creepiest place to approach a woman. That's to this. I don't even matter if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Approaching a woman at a gas station has to be the creepiest place. And then at the club, approach a woman. Now you got to spend money because she's gonna be like, buy me a drink. So it's like you have to come across a woman that's mutually attracted to you, mutually wants to get to know you. And how do you know that? Unless y'all walk up to each other at the same exact time and be like, what's your name and what's your number? I just seen too many women be like, they cool. And I know the women that go online being like, they don't want men to approach them. It's a specific man they want to approach. What, oh, hell no, what? What happened? What you mean? Like, man, that's the only thing I don't like about going live is because you like most people that text in the chat, like they got to be specific. And I don't want to tell people to be specific all the time, but it's like, it's already a delay. Then it's like, I don't know exactly what you agree with or disagree with. It's not too much, but it's something I got to get used to. But yeah, I'm not doing it. It got to be a mutual thing. That's why I always dated women that were coworkers because we knew what it was. We've been around each other. Like we kind of knew each other's personality. We knew after a while, either she told other people and they told me, or she told me directly. When you said men approach women at the gas station, that is very creepy. So I said, yeah. Do you agree it's creepy? Do you think it's very creepy? Not saying the man is creepy. It's just like I feel like that's the worst place to approach a woman. And I don't know why. It might be influence, it might be interactions I've seen in person, but it'd be weird. Like it'd be because when I go to the gas station, it's not to hang out. I'm not there to hang out. I'm literally most likely if I'm stopping to get gas, I'm irresponsible. So it's not like I'm stopping to get gas and going home. I'm most likely should have already had gas in there. I should have already been prepared. So I'm when I go to the gas station, just like the name, quick trip. It's just a quick thing. I'm going in there to get snacks and I'm gone. So it's like I already imagine with a woman, especially when they're all dressed up, ready to go to the club, they're going to the destination to meet men. This is not the destination. I agree. The gas station is the last place anyone should be trying to find someone to date. Exactly. I feel like that's like more of a stop and go. It's more, you're not there to hang out. You're not there to chill. Like, I know Quick Trip isn't everywhere, but it's a gas station if you don't know about it. But they got like tables outside of the gas station where you can sit. And that's weird to me too. It's a gas station. You go in there and you get out. But I know the Quick Trip got like a kitchen now where you can order food and stuff. But the whole point is, I always hear women say that's the worst place. What do you think is the best if you had to choose? Because I know a lot of women don't want to be approached in public. If you had to choose, what is the best place to approach? If you had to choose, I feel like if I would approach a woman, it would be at a grocery store. I feel like that is and I'm not saying that's the best place, but I'm saying if I would, it'd be at a grocery store because it's more like a place where, most women, I'd be in there for like no more than 5 minutes. Like I know what I want, I'm getting out. But I know a lot of women, they be shopping. So it's like they already have it in their mind. They're going to be there for 30 minutes to an hour, which I would never understand. That is too long to be in a grocery store, but they be shopping. I'm talking about every aisle, looking at the produce, frozen food. No, no. I disagree with that. But that would be the only place. And if I did approach her, it would be in an aisle or whatever, and I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I don't know because I know how to talk, but it's like I'm an overthinker too. So now I don't know your situation. I don't know if you're going to be a polite if you say no. I don't know if you're going to, be too aggressively saying yes. Like I don't. That's too much for me. Maybe the mall. The mall. That's a good point. Coffee shop or a club or a lounge, if that's your club, probably not. Lounge, 100%. But I say club, probably not because I don't know how the clubs are now, but it was dark, it was loud, and when I'm in a loud place, the last thing I want is somebody trying to get my attention or whispering something in my ear. If it's already loud in there, I'm kind of just adjusting to how loud it is. And then when somebody tries to whisper and talk to you, even worse. So I'm like, I'm cool. I'd rather not, because I know how I feel when people are trying to talk to me when it's a loud place. So lounge 100%, because I feel like a lounge is more laid back. Not, I'm not saying the music is softer, but it's just a different vibe where it's like, okay, we're here to chill. The coffee shop, I'm gonna have to go back 100% coffee shop, because when I drink coffee and it's fire coffee, I'll talk to anybody. Like that's I like coffee. Well, I won't talk to anybody, but I'm just more of an outgoing person when I have like some fire coffee. But this the thing though. If we're going there together, or if I'm meeting you, I feel like that's a good place. But if I'm just going there to pick up some coffee, I'm not gonna just talk to random people. Like that's the last thing I'm on mind, because if I drink an energy drink or coffee, like I'm my best self as far as like being social, and I don't want to scare nobody off because they're gonna be like, yeah, he got way too much energy. So the people that do know me, if I drink some coffee, they'll be like, oh, what's up? Yeah, you hype, not hype, but a person I just met, I kind of want to play it cool and like adapt to their energy, see how they are, see how they, are they cool and stuff like that. I'm gonna be doing a lot of adapting. So if I'm already like on 10 and just being like super outgoing and stuff like that, you might scare most people off, because the coffee shop is not as laid back as a lounge, because I feel like people act differently with liquor in them. But I feel like coffee shop is laid back. Damn, which ones? I feel like a lounge is more like laid back, but I might be wrong. But if they are like laid back, I feel like it's neck and neck. I feel like when most people when they drink liquor, like in a lounge, I feel like older people are more laid back when they drink. But I don't know. That's a kind of a good question. Which more out like laid back, a coffee shop or a lounge? But I'm kind of like debating, because people be at coffee shops doing work, like be on their laptops and stuff like that. And dang, I can't no that I can't do the coffee shop, because if somebody's there and they're doing work, I'm not interrupting you. My biggest pet peeve, and it will always be this, is feeling like I'm bothering somebody or interrupting somebody. That's like my biggest pet peeve in the world. Like I never want to feel like I'm bothering you or interrupting you. So probably not the coffee shop. Maybe a farmer's market or a fitness class. Maybe the airport, just the volunteer events. Maybe business, just volunteer events, or maybe business expos. I think if first of all, you're a quick thinker, because you just named the whole list. But most of those, like the airport, volunteer events, I say no to the airport. No, because you can't. Yeah, that's a good list, because people be at the airport for hours, but it's not for fun. So I feel like the best one out of that list is lounge. Maybe a bookstore, a comic book store, a video game arcade. Video game arcade, I feel like that's a good, because there's places now here that it's like they made the arcade for adults. So it's like it's a bar and video game. So I'm like, that's fire, because it's just like that. If the any place that has like a good environment, I feel like people will be more comfortable like approaching people if they find them attractive. So that's why I was like, a lounge is like almost perfect, because you got liquor in you, so you're gonna be a little bit more outgoing. The environment is made with like people that are there. If you see a person by themselves, they're most likely there to interact with people. Because if you're going to a lounge, you kind of want to interact. Because if you just wanted to drink, you could have just went to a bar. That's the way I think. I feel like when you're at a bar, you're with a group of people, you're trying to hook up with somebody, or you just, you had a hard day, like at the movies where they be sitting at the lounge. I mean, not they be sitting at the bar and talking about how bad their day went. Dave and Buster's has a restaurant and video games arcade area. Yeah. They were all good places though. But you got to keep in mind it's 2026. So not only is a lot of places I go to, they be dead, but it's like a lot of people don't really go places to like meet people. Like I don't think they do. I feel like people go to all those places, meeting somebody like as a date or like birthday parties, but it's like going places solo just to hopefully find somebody else that's there by themselves. That's far fetched. Like you taking a chance. Like hopefully it'll work out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you could take a chance and go somewhere by yourself. But it's like going to any of those places, you're gonna look crazy if it's like birthday parties and groups of friends and you go there and you're just by yourself. And these are not, fairy tales, they're not real. So you're not gonna go someplace. It's a low chance, but you'll go someplace with somebody you find attractive is sitting at a bar and you sit next to them and then y'all get married months later. That's probably not gonna happen. So as time go on, like you are getting more options for the dating, but it's like the options, people feel like they got too many options as far as people. So it's like it's not too many people settling. They're gonna feel like they're settling if they choose one thing and just sit at. Because funny enough, when it comes to dating apps, if you're on multiple dating apps, I know you got a whole bunch of options. I know that you got at least, and I'm not even over exaggerating, at least 40 people that you have an option to take it further with. And if you got that many options, I don't know about anybody else, but when it's too many options for me, I shut down. It's too many. I end up getting off of Netflix because it's just too many movies. I have to go on there because somebody recommended a movie. Can't go on there and just be scrolling because if I do happen to find a movie that I like, if you don't excite me in 10 minutes, I'm gone. And I think that's how people are nowadays as far as dating. It's so many different options. You're like, they got to be on point with everything. Every text message, and I'm not even over exaggerating with this neither. They got to be on point with text messages, like on point with the conversation. Because if you're not interesting, I guarantee it's another person that the person's talking to that just a little bit more interested. And, they're a little bit more attractive, they're a little bit taller. So it's like we've been tricked, we've been bamboozled into feeling like we got a lot of options. And the funny thing is, the irony of it is, we don't have any options. Because, first of all, you don't even know why somebody wants to talk to you in the first place. You could be having the best conversation with somebody. It could be the fantastic. Y'all like the same things, do the same things, and they just want to hook up with you. And then, same thing, you could be texting somebody and it's a boring conversation, but this perfect person might be perfect for you, but they just don't know how to talk to somebody not knowing their personality. So they're probably boring in the DMs. Probably super boring, but in real life, they know how to have fun. So it's like I can imagine like how many people get tricked into somebody just being really good at talking in the DMs, but in person, they're like no personality. I feel like that is a not rare. I feel like that happens a lot of times. People make jokes all the time. Like when you are dealing with somebody, like they're real good at text messages and being like, "Oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have all this fun," and then you see them in person, they don't even talk. They just be, just sitting there. So it's like it's a risk. Is it a risk that you're willing to take? Because as far as love, you have to take risk. If you're gonna fall in love, you have to take risk. You got to put yourself out there. And I feel like dating apps gives people opportunity to get on there and find, somebody, but it's slim pickings, just like out in the world. It's the same thing because you don't know what they want from you. It could be just money. It could be just a hookup. And funny enough, if somebody is saying, I'm looking for marriage, it's gonna scare 90% of the men off. Because they're already like, dang, you're talking about marriage already? Just because you're being open and telling them what the end goal, they're gonna get scared and be like, nah, I'm good. I'm cool. You're taking it too fast. So it's like it's too many hoops that people have to go through just to get to the relationship. I don't remember that. I remember back then, you like somebody, they like you. They didn't really worry about all the bad stuff that you got going on. They just wanted to get to know you and take them steps. Even if you meet somebody and y'all sleep together on the first night, it was still different back then because people was willing to put time and energy into something. Because I'm not saying it was a drought as far as like the dating thing, but it was just like less things or less people in your face, the more you was able to single somebody out and be like, I like this person. Super cool. I like how they talk. Now it's just like, I like this person. I like him too. What about him over there? Or what about her over there? Oh, I like her because she does this or like it's too much. And I feel like people are just like, it's too many options. You're trying to exit people out, trying to see which one's the best, and you're gonna end up with absolutely nobody. That's how it's gonna be. Just like as fast as I get off of Netflix because I can't find a movie because there's too many options, or the movies are not exciting enough in the first 5 minutes, people are just gonna keep going with it. And I think and I want to see the statistics now, but it's impossible because people be lying. Like, I want to know the portion of the world that is literally America. We'll say America, the United States of America that is actually single. I'm talking about they don't date. They all they do is go to work and come home. That's all they do. Because I feel like eventually, since everything's going up in price, people are going to be working nonstop, being too exhausted. And even if they're in a relationship, they're going to be too exhausted to be in a relationship and to give somebody attention because it's so much, you got to pay for this, you got to pay. So it's like, I feel like eventually everybody's going to be alone, hopefully not with kids, but they're going to be alone and they're just going to work and come home because everything's too expensive. And I think that's what helped the dating world back then because I don't know, it just seemed like things were more easier back then as far as like buying stuff. So it was like you was able to just save up, take some time off of work and go have fun. Now it's like, yeah, I know people that take off work to do DoorDash. So it's like it's no free time. And when you're in a relationship, you have to be able to give the person some type of attention or it's like a waste. You're just gonna be two people that live together. So um dating apps, I definitely want to hear what y'all gotta say. We're probably about to get off here because I'm going live tomorrow, same time, and I don't want to burn out. So I'll do an hour. I definitely appreciate your time if you came here. Definitely, Penelope, I appreciate talking to you. You're always supporting me. You're always watching my videos, and I definitely appreciate that. I would never talk bad about how many views I got. I don't care if it's 3 people. I'm not gonna downplay the 3 people that watch me and be like, oh, I only have 1,000. I don't care if it's one person. That's one person that it's a million videos being uploaded and they chose to watch mine and spend time with me. And I will always appreciate that. I go live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday every week at 11 a.m., different topics. I definitely want to hear what you got to say. It's not about me or what I think. I'm trying to find people that are willing to have conversations about the difficult stuff, about the things that nobody want to talk about, and we can make it fun. We can be honest with each other and get to know each other. Why not? But y'all have a wonderful day. Always have a wonderful day. And I'm going to get up out of here. Hit the like button if you made it to this point. And if you didn't, hopefully hit the like button on your way out. Y'all have a fantastic day.